It is match day again, or should I say it's match day again. How is it match day again? Liverpool, of course, take on Carragher in the Champions League this evening. A win, of course, would secure our spot in the top 8, meaning we'd miss out on that playoff round. 2 less games to worry about, 2 less match days to have to contend with, and yeah, I can't see anything but a win this evening. Carragher, to be fair to them, have beaten Benfica and Copenhagen, and they sit somewhere in the middle. They are in the qualification spots at the minute, so fair play to them. I'm sure it won't be as easy a game as some people are making it out to be, but look, if we can't beat Carragher, then I don't know what to say at that point. But surely to God we have to win tonight, right? Right? I'm going to go 3-1. I think they probably will score because that's what most people do against us. They score goals. The fact that Kanate is missing, Gomez is missing, it does look like Wataru Endo or Amaro Nallo or someone else will be slotting in beside Virgil van Dijk. So a makeshift defence to say the least. I trust them lads, but yeah, just a clean sheet I feel is optimistic given our current form. So I'm going to go 3-1. Please leave your score predictions in the comments below. We do have a few bits of news this morning anyway. Before we get into it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff. Join our WhatsApp group. The code is down here. Scan the QR code or use the link in the description. And we're giving away a signed framed Steven Gerrard shirt thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. If you want to order anything from the Collector's Corner as well, we have 20% off with the code Anfield Agenda 1. So Anfield Agenda and number 1 at checkout, 20% off. Again, link is all in the description. Just look in the description. It's all down there. Let's get into the news then. So Jamie Carragher was speaking to Adam Crafton of The Athletic, speaking about Slot's future if they don't make the Champions League. And Jamie Carragher had this to say. It's difficult if you go from champions to not making the Champions League, stating the obvious there really. You've got to believe that your manager is taking you somewhere. What you never want to do, and Manchester United have made this mistake a couple of times, is when you're thinking, I think we should change it, but I'm not 100%, and then you get to October and you think, we should have done it. I hate even talking about it because I adore the manager. He has won us the league, the football was amazing, but there is a lot of criticism out there from Liverpool supporters. If he gets into the Champions League and we see signs of progression, has a good run in the FA Cup or Champions League, I'd say, no, this is a collective thing. The players aren't playing how they were. The manager hasn't had his best season. The people above him have got to take a lot of responsibility. But if you finish 6th, that's a major drop off. It will be difficult to make an argument for that. Now, I agree with most things that Jamie Carragher said here. Like, I fully understand where he's coming from with the thing of, like, not wanting to look back with regret and saying, we should have got rid of him a few months before we did, which I think is going to happen. Like, we should have sacked him after that Nottingham Forest game or the PSV game around that time, like a few months ago. It's gone on far too long at this point. There's still no signs of improvement. Like, I know we went on that unbeaten run, but that was the biggest myth in football I've ever seen. I do agree with his points as well. That's not purely on the manager. Like, the players haven't been up to it, but then you could argue that's down to motivation or lack of instructions or lack of understanding of the instructions from the players. So again, that comes back on the manager. Yes, the people above him as well. Richard Hughes, he's been getting away with a lot. Like, didn't give Arnold the squad he really needed. Like, we spent a lot of money in the summer, but we were still short a player or two. Like, we still needed to replace Luis Diaz with an out-and-out winger, especially given how young Rio Ngamohe is. Like, he can't be relying on him to play too many minutes. He should be getting more than he is, but he was never going to be playing week in, week out. Needed a centre-back, obviously some injuries as well, and Bradley as well injured, Isak injured. Like, you can't account for these things, but very basically, we should have had a centre-back, should have had a winger, possibly should have had a DM in the summer as well. So, a lot of blame to be put on Richard Hughes as well, but ultimately, it does come down to Arne Slot. And like Jamie Carragher saying here, like, if we finish 6th, that is an absolute travesty. It will be so bad. I can't even go into detail of how bad that will be for the club in terms of financials, in terms of attracting players, attracting a new manager, just everything. We have to get into the Champions League. It is as simple as that. And I think our best chance of that is to get rid of Arne Slot. I swear I don't come on just hoping to give out with Arne Slot, by the way, but that's just all the quotes and all the stuff are about. And there was news coming out of the Netherlands, so there was a Dutch reporter speaking about Arne Slot's time with Liverpool and just like how it's going at the minute. And this is from Team Talk, so I want to read this out. While just 2 wins in their last 7 matches illustrate exactly where Liverpool are at, we understand that any sacking of Slot midway through the season does look unlikely, unless their situation gets significantly worse. That tallies up with what we've been hearing from everywhere, to be fair. It does seem like the club aren't impressed with Slot, but they are just kind of hesitant to pull the trigger really mid-season due to disruption and whatnot. You can agree with that or not, but that does seem to be the attitude of the club at least. However, as our correspondent Fraser Fletcher revealed last week, FSG have frozen talks over a contract extension with Slot, while those in charge have already initiated contact with Alonso over the prospect of taking charge. Now, a respected journalist in Slot's native Netherlands has let slip what the Reds plan to do and have dropped a bombshell suggestion that a decision to remove Slot from his role this summer has already been made. And Valentin Driessen, as quoted by Soccer News, reckons Slot's situation at Liverpool strongly resembles Louis van Gaal at Manchester United 10 years ago. In December 2015, rumours circulated that Jose Mourinho would succeed Louis van Gaal at Manchester United in the summer of 2016. Van Gaal laughed it off, didn't believe it, and spoke of fantasists who wanted to make his life miserable. Then in May 2016, on the day he won the FA Cup with Manchester United, a completely stunned Van Gaal was dismissed. Shortly after, Mourinho stepped in as his replacement, having been hired 6 months earlier. Only with results in the Premier League and Champions League can Slot perhaps survive or silence the rumours about Alonso, but it's also possible that Liverpool management has already made a decision and Slot is in his final months. We're nearly at the end of this one now, so this goes on to say, Slot's recently acted with scorn when asked if he feared Alonso stepping into his shoes at Anfield, angrily clapping back at the journalist who asked the question. In light of that response, Dreesen has fired a dig at Slot, insisting the boot was on the other foot when he was strongly linked with various Premier League moves while he was Feyenoord's boss. It's as if Slot had never been asked about the rumours before. When he was linked with Tottenham Hotspur, Feyenoord and later Liverpool, back then he didn't find questions about strange, it actually flattered his ego. And I remember at the time, Jurgen Klopp had announced his departure, it was coming towards the end of the season, the news was starting to break that Arne Slot was the choice of Liverpool, and Slot in the Feyenoord press conferences was beaming, delighted obviously that he was getting the job, but he was openly just speaking about it, saying about the fact he was going to Liverpool. I just found that, I did find that a bit weird at the time, and I swear to God I'm not just saying that now because I have a bit of an agenda against him at this point, to be honest, but even back then I was thinking that is a bit weird. He seemed too, I don't know, is it weird to be too excited about something like this? He was far too open about it as well, just the fact that it just seemed a little bit small mentality that he couldn't believe that he was getting the job. If you want to be Liverpool manager, or what the fans would want to be Liverpool manager, is someone who's yes, I 100% earned this role, I deserve this role, I can fully understand why they put me in, I deserve to be here, not, oh my God, I can't believe I've been picked to be Liverpool's next manager. The difference in mindset there I think is a big thing. And going back to what Dreesen was saying there about Van Gaal, it's just his press conferences lately, the stuff he's coming out with, it is a little bit reminiscent of Van Gaal. It's reminiscent of Maresca in his final few weeks. It's just Ruben Amorim as well coming out speaking about the ownership and just making weird comments. It does very much seem like he's a man who knows his time is very limited. And yeah, I just wanted to bring it up this morning because again, that press conference, Craig covered it in vast detail last night. You don't need me to go over it again, but he is just losing the plot. It is as simple as that, and surely he knows that his time is coming to an end at his club. Some other bits of news this morning, so there's a lot of links with Jeremy Jacquet of Rouen, who is 20 years of age, he's a French centre-back. Liverpool have been long linked with him, and Paul Joyce last night said that Jeremy Jacquet, 20, is under consideration for the summer. We had a report then last night as well from Cave Solokol that said Jeremy Jacquet has expressed preference for joining Chelsea, despite interest from other clubs. Talks are ongoing between Ron and Chelsea about a deal for the 20-year-old centre-back. Ideally, Ron want to keep him until the summer, not an easy deal in January. And then we had Fabrizio Romano this morning saying Liverpool are trying for Jeremy Jacquet and would love to get the player now, but Ron's insists that it's sell the player for the summer. It does seem to be Chelsea, Liverpool and Bayern Munich are the three main clubs in for him. Very highly rated, very young. I think he's going for something like 60 or 65 million pounds. But according to Cave Solokol, Chelsea is his preferred destination, which, look, would you want to come to Liverpool at the minute? Let's be honest, would you want to play for Arne Slot? So I don't blame him if he wants to go to Chelsea. Look, it's up to him. I think if we really made a push, we could still get him, but it does look likely that he will be joining Chelsea more so than us now, which is just another centre-back target gone, another target that Liverpool wanted gone to another club. So yeah, fantastic news on that one. That's all from me this morning anyway. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button, hit the big subscribe button as well. Craig will be back this evening then, live from 6:45 for the Carragher watch along. Please do join us for that one. Match reaction after that then, player ratings, all that stuff. Again, join the WhatsApp, scan the QR code down this side. I can never find the right side for this one. Join the WhatsApp, keep up to date with the latest Liverpool news, do our player ratings on match days, and we'll have a giveaway every month with the Collector's Corner as well in the WhatsApp group. So please do join it if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon.